Man, please make a product roadmap for the next lottery numbers, because please tell me what those are going to be.
Well, and Peter, think about the roadmaps that people had in February of 2020, and then the pandemic hit.
Perfect example.
Everything is out the window, right? It's crazy. The world is just changing too rapidly. We just don't have any concept.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Agile or BS. I'm your host, Peter Saddington, at AgilePeter on Twitter, with my colleague, Bob Hartman, at AgileBob on Twitter as well. We love answering your frequently asked questions around agility, and today we're going to be talking about product roadmaps. Now, many of you guys in the corporate world, I'm sure, have heard of product roadmaps, and there's many different versions of this. But let's just take it from a kind of broad vantage point. Are product roadmaps real agile, or are they BS? What say you, Bob?
So Peter, I'm going to ask you to define product roadmaps a little bit more for me. Give me a little bit more background before I make a choice on this one.
Great. How I see product roadmaps essentially is seeing the whole, kind of a lean concept. It allows us to see the whole of the product. Often, in the way that I interpret it, often I see product roadmaps as an outcome of release planning. And that's a very simple way of looking at it. When we do release planning, we can see the whole of the product. We've taken those requirements, broken them down into some epics or themes, and that way we can see the whole of what's going on and begin making informed decisions around how we need to chunk it up, break stuff down, move stuff around, maybe have conversations on dependencies, constraints at that level. But again, product roadmap is not a detailed and very specific look at each of the requirements or user stories. It's more of a larger view of the entire product. That's how I essentially will define it.
So let me take a slightly different direction with it, because when I hear the word product roadmap, what I'm hearing is a map that shows when in time various features and functionality will be delivered. And I'm also hearing something that's generally measured in years and not months and days. So like Microsoft or Adobe or something might have a 5-year product roadmap.
Fair enough.
And they might give you dates on when exactly those things are going to happen in time. And so for me, if that's the kind of product roadmap we're going to have, then I'm going to call BS on it. I don't think there's any way in a rapidly changing world that's complex that we can have a product roadmap that goes out that far. When I was the VP of a company that was using Agile, people always wanted product roadmaps. It's a natural instinct for clients to want the product roadmaps. And what I told them was, hey, the next 3 months, these are pretty well set in stone. We're working on these things now. They're going to happen. 3 months after that, that's still changeable, but these are the things we're likely to have. And then basically I said, beyond that, I'm using a Ouija board. I mean, I have no idea. The world is going to change completely between now and then. And to even make a guess about that future is going to be ridiculous, because you, as Mr. Client or customer, or Ms. Client or customer, you're going to come to me in 3 months and say you want something different anyway. So why should I put something out there that we know both sides know is going to change radically over that course of time? So when we have long-term product roadmaps, or product roadmaps that are tightly tied to dates that are reasonably far in the future, I'm just going to call BS on that. I think that's a way of the dinosaur, and it's nothing we can really do these days. The world is just changing too rapidly.
I would agree 100% with the way that you have defined it. And I kind of feel when you were talking about it, I was writing some notes down, and I felt kind of good. And the reason I felt good while you were talking is because I feel like I've lost some of my old world thinking. And that's a good thing, because I remember the way that you define it, product roadmaps that are out a year, 3 years. You and I have both seen 5-year and even 10-year product roadmaps. It's like, come on, there's no way. I mean, in 1995, if you had created a product roadmap for your company out to 2005, the internet would have completely blown up every idea that you had ever thought of, because you'd be thinking completely different in terms of your worldview as the internet emerged and things changed in technology. So having a 5 or 10-year roadmap is crazy. So I feel good that I've kind of lost maybe some of that. And so how I translate today is very Agile specific in terms of a product roadmap during release planning. And I feel like I've almost misinterpreted it a little bit. And maybe I should pull back and say, yes, product roadmaps is kind of traditional thinking. It's trying to see out years in advance of what this product should be and try to take it, you're basically a Ouija board, or trying to know the future of how the market's going to need or require or not need your product. It's almost impossible to say. But probably how I should have said in the beginning was that during release planning, we're really doing a user story map, not necessarily a product roadmap. So I will correct myself there. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. And so I would agree with you when it comes to the traditional definition of a product roadmap. Absolutely yes, because no one knows the future. Technology is only accelerating our learning, and not only accelerating learning, but technology is also accelerating change. Not to mention that the market's changing quickly anyway. And so to have a long-term product roadmap for the future, man, please make a product roadmap for the next lottery numbers, because please tell me what those are going to be.
Well, and Peter, think about the roadmaps that people had in February of 2020, and then the pandemic hit.
Perfect example.
Everything is out the window, right? It's crazy. The world is just changing too rapidly. We just don't have any concept.
Yep. So I think we are in agreement here. We're going to keep it short and sweet, guys. Product roadmaps, when you're trying to understand the future, 1 year, 2, 3, 5, 10 years out, come on, get a better head on your shoulders. It's not possible to know that. And so let us know if you disagree with us. Put a comment down below, subscribe, smash the like button, and we'll see you guys next time.